All right, welcome. It's fresh, it's hot. It's the Genesee County Compassion Club show.
Yeah.
What's going on?
How are you guys?
Man, it's hot out.
Yes, it's
That's all
hot.
I gotta say.
It's nice in here. Nice breeze.
It's a good day to be a wizard. It is.
That would be true.
Well, it's about 93 here at the Flint Talk Radio Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Kicking it, keeping it live. John, thanks for coming in today. Being back in the studios.
Thank
Always
you,
a pleasure
John.
to be here.
Hell yeah. Good old John. What'd you do this weekend, buddy? Anything exciting?
No, that's which is good. I don't like exciting. That usually means reports and cops and insurance papers. So I stay away from exciting. 50 years old, you try to stay away from exciting.
We're gonna have to get you out on like a mission, like send you somewhere exciting every once in a while for a news report. Like, John, you just have to go here.
John
Enjoy
on the
it.
town.
I live in Flint. How much
Yeah.
more excitement do I need? You know, I mean, in Flint you got like all kinds of shootings and stabbings and fires. So what else do I need? You know,
What else
watch
do you
it carelessly.
What was that movie? They made a TV show. I think it's called Buffoon Abroad. And what it is, it's a guy who always talked about wanting to go do stuff, but he never really wanted to. So he just always talked about it. So his buddies had a lot of money, so they sent him out in their show where they paid for him to go everywhere that they thought he should go, like these craziest places in the world to go see. So they sent him all these places, and he had to go there. It's the show. It's like every episode he'd go there and have to like skydive or like go bungee jumping or go climb a mountain. It's pretty crazy. That's what's gonna happen to you one day, bro.
There's a show on TV called An Idiot Abroad.
Idiot
It's
Abroad,
the
that's
same-
what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
It's really
Buffoon
funny.
Abroad, Idiot Abroad. Pretty close.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very funny.
Yes.
He's terrified to do everything. It's really
Heck
good.
yeah. I know, I went to Cedar Point, was it Monday?
Did you?
Oh, it was fun, but bad mistake on time-wise, like, because of how hot it is.
Yeah,
Like, I
heat
literally
wave.
sweat my butt off. Like, I probably drank about 2-3 gallons of water, and I peed maybe twice the whole day.
Oh, no.
It was bad. Like, I just was sweating like crazy. Everyone in line was sweating. And I do advise, though, if you go to Cedar Point, pay the extra money to get the fast lane pass. It's like you'll go up to the line and you'll be looking at like an hour and a half line on one side, and there's a guy there with a little gate, and he looks at your wristband, and you just go right in, and you have maybe like 20, 30 people in front of you. The worst I think I waited was like 12 minutes to get on a roller coaster.
Wow.
So I mean, it was pretty cool for that, but as I'm getting older, I'm glad I did that because I probably would have made it like maybe on 2 rides the whole day if I didn't do that. Like I was constantly getting water. I was just like my feet were dying already.
It's the old fart pass.
It was pretty wicked out there. I mean, it was hot. Like those kids that were standing in line, I respect them. Like I don't know, when I was a little kid, I used to do it because I thought it was entertaining though.
Oh, yeah.
Like I get to stand in line at Cedar Point and you see all sorts of crazy people. You know, all sorts of young, crazy, wild things going on. Yeah, nowadays I'm like, just want to get on the ride. I want to ride it and go to the next one. I don't want to be gone before it gets too late.
I think a lot of us at work are going August 18th to Cedar Point.
I'm be going again, trust me.
Awesome.
Be getting the fast pass.
Yeah,
You know,
we were talking about the fast pass, how we kind of feel bad, like we're cheating a little bit.
No.
Maybe we should stand in line, but
I got an idea too. I'm thinking that like if you leave around like 10 in the afternoon or even like 9, you just take your time, go get breakfast, and you get there about like 1, maybe noon, maybe even 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's open at 10. And like I left at 6, and like half the parking lot was completely evacuated by 6 o'clock, and there wasn't even completely full to start with on a Monday. So like imagine if you're just there to like from evening till sunset. There probably won't be any lines at all. You can just hop on roller coasters left and right. It won't be so hot. You know what I'm saying? You can take your time and enjoy breakfast. That's one thing I skipped out on, and I think I paid dearly for it. Like I was dehydrated and famished. I mean, it was bad.
So note to staff.
Yeah, I feel like an old man.
Get grandmas before we leave.
Yes, definitely.
Basic.
Safety first.
I know we also did some other stuff with the club, though, getting with the club stuff here. I know last week we did the soup kitchen.
Yes.
We did that on Friday, the Northern Soup Kitchen.
Mondo volunteerism.
Yes, we did.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We had a lot of volunteerism.
Mondo.
And it was actually back-to-back on the days, which is very incredible. There's a lot to ask of everyone. I know that. But we always have wonderful staff. We always have a wonderful group of volunteers. And everyone comes together and helps out quite well. And if you guys are sitting there listening and you're like wondering what I'm talking about, maybe you should ask someone and check it out because it's a lot of fun. We do get to go all hang out together. Like the soup kitchen, we take off. We get there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're done by 5:30. We prep for an hour. We hang out for 45 minutes to an hour, and we eat the food that we prepped. We all sit there and shoot the shit and talk about things at the soup kitchen with John, the director there. Lets us know all the cool things that are coming up. And then by the time you're like, wow, I feel like we've been here like 20 minutes. All of a sudden, the people start showing up. And then you only have an hour, and then you're done. So, I mean, it goes by really quick. You're out there, like I said, by like 5:15. We back to the club for a second. You know, we always have a good crew of people. I know Blueberry loves to go. He loves to have
Blueberry,
fun.
he's there usually every time, I think.
Yeah, we get like singing, humming songs and stuff.
Keeping everyone cheery.
Yep, everyone has a fun time. I know the staff there loves us there because we always like to razz them a little bit.
What did you guys whip up this time?
We whipped up some wonderful sloppy joes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sloppy Joe.
I know we've made food ourselves quite a few times when we've gone there. We've picked out food and we brought our own food once. Beef. And I think we have to go back to doing that. Like, because we're going once a month now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're booked until December.
Oh, wow.
Once a month. It'll be the fourth Saturday of the month.
Okay.
So the fourth Saturday of the month.
There you go.
I think
I
we're
hope you don't always get
skipping.
the same group of people.
Yeah.
But I know we had a lot of people that wanted to come last time, and there's a limited number of people that can come to the soup kitchen.
Yeah, but it's not a massive place. There's only so much
there's only
to do.
so much food to serve, and
But that's
so
why we
on.
thought the once a month thing would be so well when we're scheduling it, because that way it gives people a chance. Like if you can't make it this time and you want to go next time, that's awesome. And if you've been like 4 times in a row and you can't make it, the 5th time, you don't have to feel so guilty about it because you can, you have next month to come to. Yeah, and someone else can go too.
Yep, and we do have sign-up sheets on both sides of our club, so
they're
if you
up
want
constantly,
to.
right?
Yep, they are up all the time. Even if you're not a member of the club and you want to volunteer, that's fine too. You don't necessarily have to be a member to volunteer.
Yeah, and if you don't want to really, volunteer directly, come down with us. If you feel like you have a church group that goes, or you have a own business and you want to get your own group together, like that's cool too. Because right now the soup kitchens, I know they're really struggling in the summertime, getting a lot of solid groups coming through on a regular basis because of the summertime. Most kids are out on break. Most parents, they have their kids to take care of. Plus, they get a break in summertime. Right. So it's kind of hard to donate a lot of times for people in the summer. So if you were thinking about doing it, and and if you were watching and you're not around this area and you want to do your own thing, I highly recommend go do it. Get in contact with your local soup kitchen. Go out there, get involved with them. They can all use the help. I guarantee it. You aren't going to call one place and be like, oh, you know what? We have so much help right now, we can't use it anymore, but give us a call back next year. You won't find it. You're going to be like, find people that are grateful to have you come help them out. Whether it's 3 people or 30 people, they will be grateful. If you have 30 people, they'll break it up into a couple of days. It might help them out and get more use out of it too. But the soup kitchen was fun. The Adopt a Highway.
Adopt a Highway was so hot, but we had some great volunteers.
Yeah, the middle of Adopt a Highway always is just like, it's a true test of your spirit getting out there because you are really dedicated
to clean up that trash.
Mm-hmm.
Our next one won't be as hot.
No.
Yeah, middle of the summer is always tough.
Well, that's always the tester right there. And then you get the first one, which is your tester of your cleanliness, because you get out there after the winter and you're just like, all right, well, how much junk?
Cleanup.
Yeah.
We usually have quite a few helpers for that, actually.
The last one, I'm not gonna lie, is the easiest.
Yep. September.
Yeah, I feel almost guilty in that one. It's like you can almost walk at a normal pace, and if you have enough people, you just stop and pick up the few things you do see at that point. And I feel like I need to be like scouring, looking for more trash.
Well, hopefully we won't have that problem now that we have 2 sites.
Yeah, the Dort Highway one.
The Dort Highway one.
I heard that was pretty bad.
We ran out of bags.
What do you guys think about that? Was it pretty nasty?
It's not too bad. We split up. We did, half mile on each side, so mile each. We divided our teams, and the first team, they hit the ditch that apparently was used as a dumpster. So they ran out of bags quickly. But we had a steady pace going. We had, I think, 4 to each of our teams, so we were trucking along pretty good. But I think maybe if all of us would have went to the new site first, maybe used up those bags. So we'll do it.
We'll have to next
better cleaning in September.
10 more people, you think?
Yeah, maybe. The more the merrier. We definitely need volunteers for Adopt a Highway. Yeah.
That was always fun, guys. We have food afterwards. We had
we had a really nice luncheon this time, thanks to Dream.
I can never remember the name of the place.
We had Ruggiero's.
Ruggiero's, yeah, there we go. They had the best focaccia bread in town.
Yes, it's delicious.
And really great Italian food. Highly recommend it. It's on Corona and Linden Road. right there in the little plaza, same as Sagano's. Two good restaurants.
Patsy Lou.
Yep.
Patsy.
Get a little bit of all that. You can go look at cars. You can go get some sushi. You can go look at more cars and come back and get some Italian food afterwards.
Oh, that's right. There's an Indian place there too. Yep,
Sure, you get a 3-course meal all day long right there.
Then you go back to the parking lot, get some Mexican food. Then you go across the street, get some McDonald's.
Then if you don't feel good, 911's right there too.
And there's
The state police post right behind there.
Right.
There's a gym
On the
too.
way to the hospital. Actually, I think the hospital's across the street.
I think it's very close.
Yep, there is actually a medical center right there.
That's right. There is.
All right, let's see what else we got, guys. I got some more club stuff coming
Yeah,
up.
what do we have
I know
going on?
yesterday I got to hang out with DJ Short. He was sitting there chilling with us.
Yes, thank you, DJ, for coming out.
Yeah, it's
Hope to
always
see
fun
you
when he's
soon
here.
again for your class.
We will actually have him
back.
coming right here.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh,
It's like next.
there we go. Here we go.
Yeah, next week.
Right here, we have July 20th, which is Saturday. We have a class. The class goes over his book, sorry, I'm not looking at the name. It's Cultivating Excellent Cannabis.
Yeah.
Exceptional.
Exceptional. I know it's one of those. It's an amazing book. I have it at home.
And that's from 4 to 7.
Yes.
You're going to need to go home and memorize that book.
I never can remember the name of it because I can't remember if it's exceptional or incredible or.
Cultivating exceptional
Yep.
cannabis.
And that class is going to be from 4 to 7 p.m. Saturday, July 20th. Cost of the class as follows: $30 for GC, or $50. I'm sorry, for G3C members. Sorry, bad picture. $100 for non-members. That would have been a huge difference.
Yes.
Again, that's $50 for members and $100 for non-members. And become a member is only $20. So if if you want to come in and you want to get your membership, you can do that for $20. Walk away with a free T-shirt and a membership, good for a year, and save $30 on your class. I don't tell my toys that because giving you the secrets here of all the deals.
The secret.
The secrets.
And the classes that we offer as well.
Yep.
All of our members get a discount.
Oh yeah,
They have
and those you can go right to our
class.
webpage, Genesee3C.com. Go to classes or calendar. It's on both of those. You can click on the classes, read about a little bit about them, see who the instructor is. You can sign right up for them online. It's an excellent way to get ready, keep up with classes, and also get signed up for them. Much easier than waiting until you come in because a lot of people forget when they're there. So they'll come in, they'll leave, and they're like, "Oh, I forgot to sign up for that class," and then they procrastinate. And procrastinating never gets you, any more knowledge in your noggin. So if you just hop online, you guys are watching something right now online. It's very simple. Genesee3C.com is our webpage. You can also go to Genesee Compassions on Facebook and keep up with us for more stuff also. I know Chelsea's always on there keeping up with information. I know G Money's always on there. Good old Greg.
Yeah.
Bouse. Jeremy's always posting great political stuff on our Facebook stuff and any great clips and inserts he finds from the news. So that's a great
Chelsea
spot. Well, you guys both. I don't know where it comes from, but they both post. And then also with DJ Short, the 23rd, which is the Tuesday, he'll be back. He'll be sitting there signing his books. He'll be vending genetics. He does not come and vend medicine. He actually just brings genetics. So if you're interested in talking to the man himself about his own genetics, and if you have any questions about him, if you ever felt the need to you're kind of the person that's like, I don't like to get something from someone else. I kind of like to go to the person that actually is the man
Right.
and talk to them in person and
The
find out what
creator.
I'm getting. This is the time to do it. I know some of you guys can travel all over the country, but not a lot of people can. So the free people that don't have buddies that are breeders and such, this is an excellent time to come in and meet one of the breeders. Come in and meet him, talk to him, learn some, a little bit of information in his class. I'm sorry, not a little bit, a lot of information in his class. A little bit of
What'll
information
work
about his
best for
breeds,
you?
too.
I'm sure he
Yeah.
could expand on what'll work best for his specific
Exactly.
seeds.
I
And
mean, 'cause he grows quite a bit of his own strains, trust me.
Right.
Like, you don't think he grows other strains. And July 25th, he'll be back too on Thursday, doing the same thing. So you got Saturday the 20th, Tuesday the 23rd, and Thursday the 25th. Also, this will be updated on Facebook and stuff for you, so if you need any more reminders, there you go.
Bam.
And some more stuff we got going on. I know this Friday, this Friday we have our first late night.
Late
We're
night
gonna do it
club.
from 6 to 10 p.m. This will be the first late night, July 19th. Friday night, I mean...
Euchre tournament.
Yeah, Euchre tournament. I mean, come in,
It's gonna be
hang out.
fun.
And it's not just Euchre though. I mean, it's gonna be everything. It's gonna be, you can come in, hang out, have coffee, get the snack bar, chill with your friends, socialize like you would during the day, but without all the hustle and bustle.
Right.
I mean, this is a great place to go, if you're a patient and a member, to come hang out.
Maybe you don't get out of work till 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
You can still come down on a Friday.
Yeah, maybe,
we'll have a couple of vendors there.
I'm lonely on Friday nights. Like, I don't have anything fun to do on Friday nights except,
I don't either. Hang
my
out with
usual
you, find
work or
people.
read online, and but now I got a place I can go hang out. Like, I've been waiting for a place to go hang out at later in the evening for this like a long
That's
time.
not a bar.
Yeah, I don't like bars. It's
bar.
not cool with all the drunk people leaving and shit
We
like
kicked
that.
out of most of them. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't like you smoking in their bars.
Go where you belong.
But now you have it, though. I know there's a word. I know we talked to Jamie. She was letting me know, like, to let everyone know also that there will be a TV coming soon, and hopefully we got a few people that are talking about donating a video game system or something to get in there just for people to play right away.
Yes.
So we will have some more fun stuff to do. Just besides, the euchre the first night is a big exciting event. But if you're not a euchre player, that doesn't mean you shouldn't come.
Right, absolutely.
Hang out.
I'm not a euchre player. I'm probably gonna play, but I really don't know what I'm doing. So I'm like the one you don't want on your team. So I probably will be like on the.
I don't know how to play.
I'm gonna be like playing
These are
basketball.
partners.
Yeah,
Like in basketball, they're like picking around. Even shorter kids got picked over me, like little skinny kids. And I'm like, they're like, no. All right, Drury, come on. And I'm like,
It's
oh.
like Red Rover shame as an adult. It's like, no one wants to be my euchre partner. No.
That's me
And
though.
Jamie said today, I was like, well, do you need me to come in and help work on Friday for late nights for the euchre? She's like, well, I got it covered. And besides, you don't know how to play anyway. Well, okay, fair enough. So, at least I get to come hang out.
I've been studying.
I know. We're trying to learn for years.
Playing on
Yes.
online.
Studying.
Euchre.
I know.
Downloaded a Euchre app.
I know we're also gonna have some fun prizes too. Some G3C stuff. I know we also got some
Yeah, some
G3C
swag.
G3C swag. There we go. Okay, it's hard to say that one. Everyone loves our swag. Yeah, gotta love it. Oh my
Got new
little tanner.
bracelets. Fancy bracelets. Check them out.
New fancy bracelets for only $1.
$1. So
$1.
GPC
I thought you
patients,
said
caregivers,
fantasy
clean.
bracelets.
I know, fancy.
They're fantasy, but they're real.
It's real. Trust me.
Yes.
Thank you.
And with that late night, the following Friday, guys, this Friday coming up, we have our euchre tournament and our beginning of our late nights. So we're going to have everything highlighted with the euchre tournament. So then the next following Friday, we're going to have the Royal Dab Crew in the house, and then it's going to be pretty much an oil concentrate, kind of hashish party little thing going on. It's going to be a late night like normal, a Friday night, late night. But also the Royal Dab Crew is going to be in the house. We're going to have a thing going on with like show your rig off. I know a lot of people like to bring in their oil rigs and all that bongs and stuff. But it's hard during the normal day because it's so busy. So if you can, have time to bring it in like on a Friday night where it's going to be all dedicated to stuff like that, that particular Friday night, sorry, I don't want to get you confused here. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm bringing my Mobius in all decked out. I know there's going to be like a Dabberdome.
Dabberdome.
Dabberdome! Here in Powder Town, Dabberdome makes the decisions.
That's
3
good.
enter, 1 dab leaves.
Even if you don't have a rig, though, come in. If you have any games you want to play or any ideas,
If you don't have a rig,
bring them in.
I'll tell you a secret. If you guys don't have a rig, you know what? I heard this place. What's it called? The G3C. I heard the G3C at the security desk right there. I heard they got some nice new DabWorks accessories, DabWork nails, DabWork titanium, DabWork nailless, DabWork domes. I know we got some DabWork mats, some DabWork tools, even some dab pens, and a couple dab vaporizers, and vaporizer bubblers. It's even more cooler. And we got some new glass pieces too, some new percolators, some water bongs. So we pretty much could set you up with a full oil rig. Any way you want to dress it up, decorate it, we could do that. So if you don't have one and you feel a little left out and you want to come hang out,
come on down.
Yeah, you could always scoop a little something up there. It's a nice little place to check some new stuff out. I know we are one of the only few places that has DabWorks accessories right now.
Which is
pretty
awesome.
cool, yeah.
And they flew off the shelves too. As soon as we ordered them, almost all of our little bubblers sold immediately.
Oh yeah, they have. Those little bubblers are really sweet.
And they're affordable. They're only,
Now what those are actually a
100 or
vape
so.
pen, right? A vape pen attached to a glass bubbler, a custom blown glass bubbler. So you're getting the benefits of a glass water percolated pipe. with a vaporizer pen. So you're getting two of the best things right now. Best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, let me see what else, guys. I think I got like one or two more things here, and I'll let you guys get some political stuff. So Friday nights, guys, gonna be coming at you guys continuously here, 6 to 10 p.m. First night's Euchre night. The following Friday night is Royal Dab Crew Oil Night. We're gonna have a lot of fun stuff going on there too. And then following out, from there on out, we're gonna have the Friday nights going on. But we'll let you know more on Facebook and on this podcast here, and also around the club on what kind of things are coming up with those Friday nights. So keep your eyes open and your ears peeled for that stuff. Next thing, I know we have this right here. Everyone's excited about this. Attention golfers. Those interested in golfing for a good time in August? Yeah, sign up now. Contact George at the snack bar to set up locations. I know George at the snack bar, he is loving golf. He is an avid golfer, and there's quite a few other people. I know Sean and John and a few other people in there.
Yeah, he's got quite a list going.
Yeah.
I believe it's scheduled for Monday sometime in August.
Yeah, so if you guys like golfing,
It's a day
you're
we're not
looking for a
open,
group of people to
so-
golf with, I highly recommend you go up to the snack bar, get yourself a drink, a nice cold refreshment on this hot day. Get a nice little straw and sippy cup, and talk to Mr. George.
Yeah, if you have a nice golf spot that you
Yeah.
really love and you'd love to bring everyone to, tell George.
I know we've had
merrier
people
for that too.
talking about golfing for like the last 4 years.
And a few girls are going too, so maybe I'll go. I don't know how to play, but
Then there should be no reason not to have like 50 people sign up for this, because I know
That'd be
forever
cool.
I had people bugging me like, we need a golf outing, we need a golf tournament, we need this, we need that.
That'd be cool.
All golf. So now you guys have your dream come true. George is hooking you guys up. He's going to help set up some golf events there for you guys. Go holler at George. Help him fulfill his love for golf.
help him help you.
Yes. Let's see here. I got we got Glass, we got Dabworks, we got DJ Short. All right, we got Scum Cookie, Elam Zog, and Glass Long Mainlining. I mean,
He'll be there.
what would you call it being the main?
Mainstreaming.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Headlining. There we go. Mainlining.
Yeah.
I tried, putting a couple words together. It didn't work out the way.
Crossland wasn't mainstream.
Sorry, guys. That was bad use of combination of words. But we do have a show here coming up Saturday, July 20th at Church Hills. And Church Hills, guys, is in Flint, right downtown. 340 South Saginaw Street, if you guys are one of those people like, I have to know the address for my Garmin.
Look for the pavilion on the bricks.
Oh yeah, right across
Yeah.
from U of M, right downtown. If you guys go downtown on Saturday night, July 20th, and you guys see a bunch of crazy rock and roll people, look like a Motley Crue show is going on, you know you hit the right spot. Because I know Glasslink's pretty dope. And I know they bring a bunch of groupies and a bunch
Brian rocks it.
bunch of fans.
For sure.
Oh yeah. Heard it's kind of like a Kiss concert.
It's intense. You'll just have to be there. Take witness.
Just groupies throwing their shirts up on stage.
Not quite.
I threw my shirt up on stage.
Well,
I'm a groupie.
that's
Different kind of
not
groupie
your
though.
Band-Aid.
Please tell me you were at a Spice Girls show.
New Kids on the Block.
The cruise?
I'm joking because New Kids on the Block in 98 Degrees,
Okay.
they're headlining at Stone Eagle, and I keep seeing these billboards up of them, and I just,
I have to go.
no. See,
I have to go.
I would never ever want to go to those concerts, but if you're lonely right now and single and a male, and you have an extra $40 or $50 and you go to the New Kids on the Block or 98 Degrees concert, I guarantee you will find a new woman for your
What you are
night
looking
right there.
for.
You might even find the love of your life. Who knows?
And if you wear like shorts that are overalls at the same time,
Yeah.
Just try to, come on, Eileen.
Get the white button-up shirt, you know what I'm saying? Like a little polo, but not like it's like the dress shirt, but with the short sleeves on it. And you roll up the sleeves just a couple rolls, have it flat open with the tank top and like the cheesy, was it the coral and the shark tooth?
sure.
Yep.
I'm not sure where you're going with that one.
Just like the early 90s.
You gotta have some suspenders, I know that.
Cross-color
Extra
suspenders.
suspenders, and you need some Oreo cookies.
Yep, and some big, what was it, the
Featherweight
Converse
stuff.
shoes.
And some-
Like blue or green Converse shoes, pastel colors, hypercolor shirts. Dude, if,
Oh,
you,
yeah, hypercolor.
if you could find a hypercolor outfit and send a picture to to our Facebook page, I will give you mad props. I will shout you out all over the place. I will make you famous online. You have to, please, because I have not seen Hypercolor forever, and I'm so hoping someone saved like a whole outfit.
I'm sure one of our members has.
They're so cool and super like this.
Funny because their armpits are all pink already. Like pink nipples on their shirts and stuff.
You could always see the guy who was like really sweating on his back in class because he'd be sitting forward like this. That was funny when they had these. Sorry guys, talking to the mic too much. But you guys see, like, it just, the sweat would mainstream the color change. Right.
It's back that mainstream word again.
Mainstream of water.
Yet you made it part just now.
Dude.
On the cotton.
It's like looking at one of those topographical maps and you can see the definition in a fat man. Alright, we do have some political stuff, I think.
Yep.
All the actual weed information, marijuana information. We've had a lot of people asking questions about some of the recent court cases. I know there's some information going on around the rest of the nation. So, Chelsea, what do you want to start with? What do we got? Right on the plate?
I would like to start with the new court case that everyone's talking about, the Court of Appeals and the Michigan medical marijuana and your brownies.
Oh, yeah, tell us about that.
Wow, so this is people versus Caruthers.
Yes.
We're going to peruse around Caruthers.
We're gonna exactly
Peruse the Caruthers case.
briefly.
Yeah, this is the case where everybody's concerned, talking about what is considered usable or not usable, and then how is it that certain mixtures are not considered usable.
Right, and what are protected under? I believe it was Section 4.
What's protected?
What are we protected under?
What is protected?
Yeah, are we protected at all? I'm not sure.
There is protection. All right, let me see here. Oh, that's right. It was a download.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid and you'll be protected.
Got it right here. All right, I'm reading right from the Court of Appeals docket, and
Love that word.
docket.
The docket.
The docket.
Give me the freaking docket, man.
Interesting here. So this is right from it. It says, we also determine as an issue of first impression that under the existing statutory scheme, an edible containing THC extract from marijuana resin is not usable marijuana under the MMA. So that's the line here that is causing a lot of confusion.
Just like cocaine, extract from a cocaine plant is not usable anymore, is it?
Let's just stay on topic here.
So if
Right.
usable
I was
means
I have no
usable,
idea.
is that still? I mean, just because it's not usable marijuana,
Which means I can
why
have
does
tons of
that?
it.
Does that necessarily mean that you're going to be arrested for having it? Does that make it illegal because it's not technically usable for
If you get
medicinal
busted without
purposes?
real marijuana, you're going to get charged for it.
Right. I mean, what exactly do they consider?
Yeah,
it?
so really they should just throw it right out and be like, all right, well, if it's not usable, then it shouldn't count towards anything, and it's not marijuana.
And that is kind of where it leaves things at. So the
Right.
problem is that by reading that line there, it gets the press and everybody else up in arms, thinking that okay, if it isn't contained actual plant material, that it's not considered usable. And according to the court, that's what they're saying. However, again, you have to read the first premise of this line. That's what it didn't read to you. And the very first part of this paragraph starts with them saying, defendants appeals by right from his conviction of possession of marijuana with intent to deliver, following a jury trial. We, i.e. the Court of Appeals, remand to allow the defendant to file a motion to dismiss charges against him for an evidentiary hearing. Excuse me, get that word out. Evidentiary hearing to determine whether the defendant can present an affirmative defense pursuant to Section 8 of the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act. So, before they went and said, okay, is an edible containing THC extract from marijuana resin is not usable, before they said that, the first line before that, which would probably be more important since it was first, was we remand to allow the defendant to file a motion to dismiss the charges against him and for an evidentiary hearing to determine whether or not he could present an affirmative defense pursuant to Section 8. So,
They dismissed it right there.
well, they sent it back down to the lower court.
Right. They don't want to deal with it.
The lower court basically said previously that, under Section 4, he's not protected, and so they convicted him. So then it was appealed. Appeals court says, no, we're not going to uphold that decision. We're sending it back down to the court, and now he has to present a Section 8 defense. And prior to I mean, this is where we're seeing a lot of these court cases go, is that the Court of Appeals and also the Supreme Courts are simply just reviewing Section 4 of the law and not getting into Section 8, which would provide further protections for patients and caregivers. So here, let's go back and look at this here a little bit. I mean, one of the things I have a question about is, it seems to me like the Court of Appeals is starting to get into some particular details about marijuana and so forth, and it almost seems to me like there's some confusion on their part and exactly what it is they're trying to regulate. For example, if we take the wording here from the court case, it says an edible containing THC extract from marijuana resin is not usable marijuana. So let's just examine that statement. First of all, I don't know anybody that is in the Michigan Medical Marijuana Program that has the ability to extract THC only extract. In fact, the only THC only extract that I've ever heard of is Sativex, which is provided by Bayer Pharmaceutical.
Right.
Most of the concentrates that we've seen, or extracts if you will, from cannabis is full encompassing, and it contains more than just THC. Some also important notes on here. I was reading from Michael Comorn's blog, and I think you had this pulled up too, Chelsea.
I think I did.
What they're saying though, if you smoke concentrates, THC in your blood can't count towards holding you accountable because it's not usable.
Well, that would be a different argument anyways, because what's in your body is not what you're going to be counted for as your usable amount. So if we're looking at a patient's legal ability to possess cannabis, they can possess up to 2.5 usable ounces.
I meant for OUIs. They say you have THC in your body, it's not usable, so it's not.
That's a totally different argument there. I don't even know it.
Don't even go down that road.
Yeah, you're opening up other wormholes there. You got to stick on track because you got a very specific part of the law, and then the court is trying to make it even more specific. And that's where we have to be careful, because if we only examine part of the law, you're not going to be protected. So, a footnote. This is from Comorn's blog here. This is Michael Comorn's blog. It says, the Supreme Court noted does not permit defendants to operate a business. This is for the McQueen case, because the Supreme Court did not specifically state that the Section 8 affirmative defense was available for the defendant engaged in patient-to-patient sales of marijuana, because the proceeding in that case is a public nuisance act and not a criminal one. So in this other case, the Carruthers case, they're trying to press him with criminal charges, but now it has to go back down to the district court, where he'll go in front of a jury and they'll have to decide whether or not he was over his usable amount.
Same thing happened with the DUI case. Went
That's
back
awesome.
and forth with the Court of Appeals. They weren't sure what the definition of under the influence of marijuana was. It wasn't specified enough for them in our Marijuana Act.
This
So
case
that was
goes
another
to the
issue.
jury. It should be pretty awesome.
Well, this is kind of interesting because the defendant did have actual flowered or dried buds, and the amount that he had was within his limit. It was below the 2.5 ounces. He also had the brownies, which was a total of 69 grams. Obviously, it wasn't 69 grams of cannabis. It was 69 grams of brownie. The chemist by the state was able to identify that they did have THC in the brownies, but was not able to identify how much was there. And also could not detect any plant material in the brownie.
He's still under his limit though, because he possessed for 5 patients.
Well,
He was a caregiver also, so he even with his brownie weight added to his weight.
no, it would not have been.
He's at 69 grams.
That's the brownie weight. That doesn't include
Right.
the flowers that he had as
Yeah,
well.
because he can hold 15 ounces. 69 grams plus 2.5 ounces.
But see right here, the defendant indisputably possessed 9.1
59
ounces.
I think he said grams.
Yeah, this is, you have to look at, that's the other thing, they weigh things differently. So the defendant indisputably possessed 9.1 ounces of usable marijuana in the form of a raw plant matter.
Right.
His aggregate or additional weight of the brownies was 54.9 ounces.
Gotcha.
So obviously add those two together, 64 ounces, be considerably more than the 12.5 that he was
Yeah.
allowed to have. 'Cause
I
he did have
apologize.
multiple
I
cards.
thought you said grams.
So actually, it was grams on the other part. Because they said 69 grams of the brownies is approximately 2.44 ounces. So, again.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, here we go. It's this is the difficulty. The defendant testified that he used can of butter to make the mixture of brownies. And, you know, a lot of people are thinking, well, this makes edibles and things like that illegal. Well, it simply does not. It just simply says that it's not considered as usable, and then kicks it back down to the lower court to let them go ahead and take a look and have a jury
And
decide.
decide what is usable.
I always sprinkle
Or whether or not
that.
he was, well, it won't be to decide whether it's usable. because now it's going to go back down to Section 8, and they're just going to say, was this reasonable to maintain an uninterrupted supply for his patients? Was he in possession of an amount of medical marijuana that was reasonable to maintain this uninterrupted supply? That's ultimately what a jury is going to have to decide. And in the McQueen case, they're going to have, if it was to go back to Section 8, then they'd have to decide, was the defendants, were they in the service of medicinal use for their patients? So if we go back to the law, you're going to see that there's some very strict definitions in there. And if you also go to, I think, what is it? We had that pulled up earlier, Section 8. Let's see if we can pull this up here. But it certainly makes the waters muddy for people. You know, when you're reading the press reports and the papers and so on, it makes it very difficult to interpret these types of things. We have a lot of different types of ingestion methods that are out there right now, and edible products certainly are among the most widely used.
Absolutely.
And oftentimes they are made with can of butter or extracts or concentrates. And this has been a question that we have had from the start when this law came out was, okay, how do you weigh someone's other materials when it's not just marijuana? You know, and how do you account for them? What is accountable or what isn't accountable? And I think it's kind of funny, you know, they have this test provided by the state's lab, and they're not able to identify, you know, other compounds besides THC. Obviously, they can't identify the concentration of the THC. I mean, we know from experience in our world that if you have an edible, you can have it tested and find out the potency of that edible. And I find it interesting that our state police lab doesn't have that capability or didn't offer it.
Here's the funny part too, is like I have hard candies, and I actually have them tested before through a couple different places, and these, what the state calls untrained facilities, these guys are highly trained actually in doing these testing with their highly educated and very nice piece of machinery. What they're doing with those machines is I actually got a reading back of how much THC in micrograms was in each piece of candy, CBDs, CBNs, different cannabinoid breakdowns. On top of that, it also told you how much is activated. So like how much of it is actually activated and ready for use. So like decarboxylated, ready to be ingested, ready to not have to be broken down by your body. Like it's pretty much a form of cannabis that is, you know, the way they test it, they pretty much told me that each piece of candy contained this much milligrams of actual THC cannabinoids mixture, and on top of that could also tell you how much of that was actually activated. So not only could they tell you how much was in there, they could also break it down to actually how much was actually really useful, because some of it wouldn't be decarboxylated, it was like 0.1%. That right there your body wouldn't be able to digest. So if you had someone that actually made some really bad, you know, brownies, and they only had like maybe 40% activated, whatever your weight isn't even really counting what your body is even getting to see. So like it's surprising how they can do such wonderful testing like that right at our own level. But like the government, you know, the people who take all this money for our taxes and go buy these big ass machines from their buddies, like they can't even figure out how to do this.
Well, they know how. They just don't want to.
I actually highly, truly think that a lot of these people who are in these laboratory jobs, what they do is, it's like, I've known people who were supposed to be like chemical engineers or had jobs like that in positions. Really what it was, they just had a decent bachelor's degree. They get into the position at a job, and what they do is they get hired into this job, and all they do is they get trained on one job of that procedure. Like, you are the person who washes this tray out every time and air cleans it to make sure that their test doesn't ever go bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, they do that kind of stuff. So you get someone who's become specialized in like a test machine for the state, but really has never ever been like, you know, a repairman for those machines, never been in electronics, never been in IT, never been a doctor to actually read all that stuff. Right. It's just like, you know, a nurse coming and doing stents. For that to happen, all it is just an extra 2 weeks of training. You know what I'm saying? Once they become a nurse. So like, I really do believe that they can't figure out how to properly do this because they have no clue what they're even looking at. They have no clue on what they're even talking about. On top of that,
well, here's a section too that's kind of interesting from the court. This is from the judges. They said the evidence reflects that the amount of THC contained is not measured. You know, they said they couldn't really tell how much THC was in the brownies. But then they turned back around and tried to say that given the unmeasurable nature of the highly potent THC contained in such edibles,
the
health and welfare of Michigan citizens could be threatened.
Well, how do they know
how do
it's
we know it's
high?
highly potent if we couldn't measure it?
Right.
No. I can tell you, as a patient, how many pieces of candy you probably need to have by your body weight and how much you tell me you react to candies, and just on a basis level. Like, not knowing what we test our stuff at and the test facilities that give us the results they do, we can actually pretty much, just like a doctor would sit you down and pretty much work you into a situation with medibles. It's very simple to do if you know what you're doing. That's why I'm so surprised they keep doing this stuff to us. Like, how do they say that? Like, they can't test it, but then they come back and say it's highly concentrated THC. Like, again, it just sounds like they don't know what the hell they're doing. You need to get, if you guys want to keep doing testing at a state level like this, like you want to keep ridiculing us, why don't you go hire a stoner? I mean, for real, you want to get the job done right, hire a stoner who works in a laboratory. I guarantee you'll get better test results, and which probably help us out too in this bullshit.
This is also in there. I wanted to read this too because it's part of it. This is from the Court of Appeals. The judge says Section 8 of the Act provides an affirmative defense to patients generally for possession of a quantity of marijuana that was not more than was reasonably necessary to ensure the uninterrupted availability of marijuana for the purpose of treating or alleviating a patient's serious and debilitating medical conditions or symptoms of the patient's serious or debilitating medical condition. Section 8's affirmative defense is thus available regardless of the amount of marijuana possessed. A defendant may assert a Section 8 defense by filing a motion to dismiss the criminal charges, in which case an evidentiary hearing shall be held before trial.
Yep.
So right in their own excerpt, they're basically saying, look, we're going to go ahead and make a call here, but at the bottom line, this guy can still go back down and assert a Section 8 defense in front of the trial, because the next line it goes on to say marijuana, as defined in Section 7106 of the Public Health Code, means all parts of the plant, cannabis sativa, growing or not, the seeds thereof, the resin extracted from any part of the plant, and every compound, manufactured salt, derivative, mixture, or preparation of the plant, or its seeds or resin. It says it does not include the mature stalks of the plant, the fiber produced from the stalks, oil or cake made from the seeds of the plant, or any other compound, manufactured salt, derivative, mixture, or stalks, except the resin extracted there from fiber, oil, or cake, or the stale or ash seeds. So they go on and on and on about different parts of it there, but basically, marijuana means all parts of the cannabis plant, growing or not. Yes. So a Section 8 affirmative defense is available regardless of the amount of marijuana possessed. And I think that, whether or not it's usable or unusable, when you get in front of a jury, they're going to have real people sitting there looking at conditions, looking at ingestion methods, looking at patients, and trying to figure out, was this person really trying to be a caregiver to these people, or was there something else going on that should be?
Jury's going to look at that and be like, all right, you got 13 brownies sitting there in that pile. All right, and you got 4 or 5 patients. All right, cool. So he doesn't have a hostess truck full of brownies. There isn't like a semi-truck delivery of brownies. All right. Hopefully you guys look at that if you're a juror for that, or if you know someone's gonna be a juror for that. Hopefully they look at that and they are not like, yeah, that looks like a lot of brownies. Like really, because for a few patients, a couple brownies like that could be like a day supply for like all of his patients. Honestly, like I'm not saying that eating 2 or 3 brownies is good for a patient every day, but there are some patients out there who are in wheelchairs who haven't stopped having seizures for more than 5 to 10 minutes a day to actually ever ingest something besides eating through a tube. So these people who get to actually enjoy a brownie because the brownie helps them enough where they can stop having seizures and eat another brownie and be more normal by the more brownies they can continuously eat without going back to seizure world, like that's cool, like all for it. So these brownies are helpful, they're needed.
So I guess the question that most people are asking at the club right now is, are they okay with making them and giving them to their patients?
I'm not going to stop having medibles. Right. Just because I like medibles for myself, my patients like medibles, and I even know the VA has even complimented a few of my patients on their use of edibles and has never said anything negative about it. They've completely downed the smoking part of it, but they're like, oh, medibles. Sugar-free medibles. Tell me more. So, it does spread.
Well, it's so premature to draw any kind of conclusions from this type of case because, again, it was a Court of Appeals case that got set back down to district court. So really,
it doesn't really affect everyone, right?
Yeah, they set the direction of how it's going to go into the next court, what they can consider or not, but it does not, it is kind of trying to legislate from the bench, but it could be time. We have yet to see.
Could be
Yeah,
a
we'll
good thing.
see. So stay
Get a good jury
tuned,
of
but don't
your
worry
peers
too
there.
much right now.
Gets a good jury of his peers in there, and they ruled us in a good favor. Maybe we
we'll
could
see.
like set forth, what's usable and not in a good sense for us. I mean, it's pretty common sense, and hopefully a good jury will be able to find that this isn't, the guy not found guilty of this, and be like, all right, that's obviously enough for this, and you can't say that's all weed. You already said it's not usable, so why would you even count it? Well, usually most Michiganders are pretty smart and intelligent people. You guys all out there, right? Very smart, intelligent people. Yes, yes. If we use our noggins, we should be able to pull out this one. It could be a good thing.
Yeah.
And obviously, like right now, we've got a thing going on in the media where they definitely like to continue to spew propaganda. I mean, we just had the
It was on
big
Fox
raid.
News yesterday about how bad marijuana is, talking about that guy who died of heroin on Glee. Somehow they brought it back to how marijuana started.
He died
it
of
all.
heroin,
And
right,
it was,
yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? And it is just the worst thing you can do is start with marijuana. So yeah, it's definitely in the news right now. I don't know
All
why.
right.
Well, and they had a
WTY.
large raid that was conducted like well over a week ago, and now it's being put all over the radio again today as if it's new information that just happened. But it's like I said, it's a propaganda type of thing.
For sure. The new
So-
reefer madness.
Yes, it's tough here in Michigan, I tell you.
But Americans for Safe Access, they're trying to make way big time with the U.S. Supreme Court. So we should talk a bit about that.
Let us know what's up with them. I know they are able to accomplish something they've been working on for like 10 years.
Yeah, for over 4 decades now, advocates for the responsible use of marijuana have been fighting an uphill battle against the DEA and the U.S. government to remove marijuana from the Schedule 1 drugs.
Have a reschedule.
At least to a Schedule 2, where it can be studied and prescribed more effectively, is what their goal is. So they're appealing the federal status of marijuana if we are able to eventually have that rescheduled.
And they're going through the Supreme Court, so it's kind of a different route than trying to change it legislatively.
Yes.
Get the whole entire Congress to agree on, changing the federal drug scheduling.
How many states
So
do we
they're
have?
able now to go
We have
to
21 now.
21 states have medical marijuana laws?
Yes.
All right, 21 states have medical
some
marijuana
type of
laws.
marijuana law. It's not
Yeah,
all.
some
And
type.
federally, they still don't think that the schedule for marijuana should include a medicinal use. Like, you have 21 states, or 21 states up and coming, medical marijuana states in our own country, but yet the higher up still dragging their feet to say that it has any medicinal value.
Yet
Get a clue.
Yet there are currently 4 federal medical marijuana patients. Federal.
Yeah.
Marijuana. Well, why are they federal medical marijuana patients if there's no medicinal value or benefit to the
Right.
cannabis plant at all?
Like, I'm not trying to start a bunch of shit.
So
but it's
that's
like,
exactly what the ASA is doing. They're saying, look at all of this, look at all the studies we're bringing to you. Since 2002, they're trying to get their petition heard, and it's been ignored. And they definitely want the FDA and the DEA to be re-examined on how they are able to define what is acceptable for studies. For example, there's no medicinal benefit to marijuana, therefore you can't study it. It's
Right.
a Schedule 1.
Yeah.
So
There's a country that we help out quite a bit. It has like the University of Israel there, and like they do a lot of research on cannabis, and like they're the leading researchers in cannabis, and they actually have IV drip forms of cannabis, like with THC and CBDs and different contents of cannabinoids, and they've done research on what just THC, just certain cannabinoids do, mixtures of this and that, and they've done tests, and this is going on, and they actually
well,
do
that's going
treatments
on
too.
here as well, because
Well, they do
all
too.
of the federal medical marijuana is grown at University of Mississippi, and
Yep.
that doctor there has 4 to 5 patents on different cannabinoids and
So maybe
properties
it happens
of
all around
cannabis.
us.
So it's definitely happening.
So how can you still not say to resection it? It's just
Yeah,
like,
reschedule.
ugh.
So stay tuned on that. They're petitioning every chance they get.
It's like, water's not wet, right? I'm gonna argue that's the death of me.
Right.
Right? That's what I feel like. They just want to argue some point that's like, come on, dude, it really is. It's wet. It's freaking water. I feel it.
Well, if there's a medicinal value to that, then the medicinal value of their pills and their pharmaceutical companies will surely diminish, and they don't want that. So it's
Well, no, they'll always
know.
be around because there'll always be like pill poppers and stuff.
Well,
You always,
I don't
you
know
gotta
how to
worry
think
about,
that
you're not worried about prescription
would
drugs
be-
going under, like these companies losing their money.
Right,
Like,
it's not gonna be that way. It's gonna even out a bit,
You're gonna
maybe.
even out a little bit, but you're still gonna have all your pill poppers. You're gonna go to the doctors 24/7 and get prescriptions. I mean, I know you bigwigs like out there worried about your pocket. You know, unfortunately, people are people. Not Americans, just people are people. So you're gonna have people that always support your business. It's time to let people actually make a choice though, on what they want
Yeah,
to do
and
with.
speaking of business, there's a bipartisan bill. It's a banking bill right now to allow banks to do business with the pot industry.
Now, is this federal?
This is a federal.
Now,
This
I
is
know they talked about this for a minute.
Yep, this is HR 2652, the Marijuana Businesses Access to Banking Act of 2013.
Now, is that? I know there was there 3 parts originally, or 3 different bills that were tagged together?
I think Jeremy was saying something.
Yeah, it's the
about
same package, but I think they've kind of revamped it, so
Got it down
try to
to
get
one.
back on the, well,
Kind of like our bills.
get on the fresh
Michigan, right?
docket for the year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got
Session and all that.
22 co-sponsors already.
It's pretty
Ooh.
strong.
Let's see, any from Michigan?
Like Hulk
We haven't
Hogan's
heard
strong.
of?
No,
guys,
Conyers
good question.
sponsored the last package, but I don't know if you went down.
I don't see him. Nope. So we'll have to promote that
Yeah,
to.
so this would be your federal representative.
Yes, representative. It's in the
Yeah.
House right now.
That's who you'd want to contact. I think we have like, who's our representative, Stabenow? Who's our rep, John?
Who's
our federal
our
representative right now? Is it Kildee?
Dan,
Yeah.
Kildee?
So you want
Yeah,
to contact
Senator
Like the bird.
is
Representative Kildee.
Stabenow.
That's right, Senator
Never mind.
Stabenow. But yeah, you can contact your representative. Is it Dan?
Yeah.
Dan Kildee.
Dan.
Dan.
And
Kildee.
Dale is local, I believe.
Well,
He's
in the
Genesee
He
County.
used to have the office, but now his nephew's got it.
Okay.
They kind of just shifted Kildee's.
Yeah, but you want to contact your federal representative and let them know you support this package. It's comprehensive. It allows cannabis-based businesses to do business with banks. Currently, right now, any banks that take that risk are just simply doing it on their own, and the assets that are put in that bank are always subject to forfeiture because there's no legal protection. And most banks are now working across state lines. So if they take money from something that could be deemed illegal,
In
and
one
now
state.
their business transactions go across state lines, well then now that's a interstate
federal
traffic
illegal.
trafficking,
Bring
it's a
down
federal
bills.
problem. So a lot of banks, just for their own protection, won't deal with anything that could jeopardize their assets. And we need to have some type of protection, allow businesses to have things like credit card processing, allow businesses to have
Safe bank deposit.
bank accounts,
Yeah.
banking in a sense, allow to get loans and so on.
That's how you expand business in America.
Absolutely, and then other things like being able to write off your expenses. There's a lot of dispensaries that are not able to write off their products that they're providing to patients as an expense, which normally obviously that would be typical for most businesses. So
And very
it just
needful.
makes it very difficult for them to operate in this country, and it would make the change that's necessary.
Right,
So.
if we accept it as medicinal, just like a pharmacy, they have certain things that they have to go through, they're allowed to get federal machines. You can pay for your medicine for whatever you need with your debit card if you have to. So maybe in the future, I don't know.
I think there'd be some pressure on this. Like you said, there's already 22 sponsors on the bill.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get
That's
some
quite
more.
a bit,
I
actually.
mean, you're going to have a couple of states out there now that are, going to be doing big business, I would
Yep.
assume, with having it be completely legalized. So within the next couple of years, I think you're going to definitely see some restrictions
Yeah.
taken off there.
I mean, from a business point of view, it's just very unfair when you got people who want to help the economy and go into a business of their preference that is deemed pretty much
Right.
legal in their state, but yet can't do proper legal banking procedures. In
Even
sense
the
of having a
farmers,
bank
what are the
account.
farmers that want to grow hemp going to do if it's not separated from?
Yeah, I mean, you can't
From the
legally get a
cannabis
bank
and-
account. I mean,
right,
where are you supposed to use your money?
that's
Who's supposed to
ridiculous.
back it? It just doesn't make sense. Like, you're just really, you're just blacklisting people trying to have an honest-to-God good business, and you're just, boom. I don't know, it doesn't seem right to me. Not at all.
World.
Call your local Michigan rep. Tell them
Yeah,
to
maybe
support
I
the bill.
can write up a little
Email.
rough draft If
Yeah,
you
we
want
can
to
do
do
some
something on our
letters.
website, I can do a letter drive.
Like
I
print
can
a letter,
always do
yeah.
letter drives.
So you guys
You
go to our
guys
website
wanna-
again, Genesee3c.com. Check it out. Maybe we'll get Chelsea here. She'll put up a little rough draft letter. You can just print it up. We'll have Jared do a little quick tab on it. You go to your computer, you click that tab, you be able to print that thing up. Then all you do is sign it and send it.
Yeah, stay tuned when we have our political
Yeah.
site up and running. We will have links for all of that, actually,
Yes.
rough draft
We've
things.
done stuff like that before.
If you want a rep to co-sponsor any major bill involving hemp or marijuana or anything like that, you can just sign it. Sign your name and hit send, and it'll send right to their email. So,
I
yeah.
appreciate the ones that we
Easy
have
as
done
pie.
before. Like it made, because I don't mind calling and talking. I just usually, to write an email or type something up, it's hard for me to come up with all my thoughts and put it in a piece of paper. So when someone else can help me out a little bit, makes my job a lot easier. All I gotta do is, like she said, just sign it or put your name on it and email it, print it up and send it. Either way you feel preferable or preferably whatever way you like. All right. Sorry guys. Yes. Just bang, I'm like, bing, and I'm sweating.
Jim, what else
hot.
you got today? Anything else?
Just a couple quick things out of state news here. Washington State won't regulate the size of pot farms.
For now.
Basically, for now, saying that they'll get to it later. Obviously, this is for recreational use. And they had a comment in here about Seattle was currently drafting zoning changes so that they could limit the amount of grow facilities and the size and stuff like that. Obviously, they'll have to be zoned in just like every other business is. There's a comment on here about New Jersey and New Hampshire. They both have bills that are on their governor's desk for medical marijuana.
Wonderful.
However, they're not signed by the governors yet, so they're waiting for the sign off.
I think some of these states recently have signed or have had their bills not signed and have passed anyway. So
Yeah.
sometimes they just refuse to sign it. How does
Yep.
that work exactly? They don't support it, so they just don't sign it, but it's passed anyway.
I don't think it gets passed. It's the governor. It's effectively like a lame duck sort of thing. What is the term for that, John?
Well-
There's an actual term for that where you just sit on a bill. You don't veto
Oh, a
it.
pocket veto.
Say again.
Pocket veto.
Pocket veto.
Pocket veto. Basically, just refuse
Yeah,
to.
So you just put
There's
it
quite a
in
few
basically
bills
just
in
take the
Michigan that are
bill.
not signed.
Sure,
Actually,
and that's exactly you're not saying no to it, but you're not signing on it, so it just sits there on the desk until the next session
do
when it
what
gets
you
thrown in
will
the
with
trash
it,
can.
right?
So
That's a shame.
I'm not going to tell you no. I'm not going to tell you
I'm
yes.
not gonna be that guy.
There's information in here. Let's see. Portland, Maine voters to decide on legalizing up to 2.5 ounces for adults over 21.
Very nice.
Florida Medical Marijuana Group hiring signature gatherers to get medical marijuana on the ballot in 2014.
Right?
So
That's awesome.
a lot of people ask me about that. Like, how close is Florida? Well, now you know.
Yeah,
They're
I
not
think-
close.
I think they
Okay.
need like 400,000 signatures or
Well, they're
something.
trying. If they're
by
trying
next
to hire
July.
signature gatherers,
It means you're.
That
for
means,
next year.
yeah, if they don't have the support that's already there,
Yeah.
like, let me help you get these signed.
probably not going to be on the ballot this year.
Right. Unless they just started. I don't know.
Someone's got some money put together though, because if they're willing to pay a bunch of people, I know it's expensive.
Sure. And I know
Yeah.
that
It's quite a bit.
I think they do have some money behind that.
That one guy, the Silver Tour.
The silver.
Sorry, I can't remember his name right now,
Yeah,
but
you're right.
There's one thing about Michigan, real
Grandma
quick.
told me about it.
A lot of
She's
people
reading
around the
article
world.
about it,
yeah.
She's reading Silver Weekly.
No, she's down in Florida. So all the ladies, they like talk about what their grandkids do.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
talking about it, and then all of a sudden, the lady's like, "Well, did you hear about this in Florida?"
All right.
And I was like, "Well, if that happens, I'll teach ladies how to grow some marijuana."
There's one in Michigan as of July 10th. I don't know if we read this. A Michigan appeals court ruled this week last week, that the state's medical marijuana law requires cardholders to be Michigan residents,
Yep.
and held that immunity from prosecution under the law is a question for a judge, not a jury, to decide.
So
You have to be a Michigan resident if you want immunity from prosecution.
Yes.
So anyway,
Good point.
if you reapply as of April 1st, you have to be a Michigan resident anyway, so it really doesn't really apply anymore anyway.
Right.
Unless
So-
you're from an out-of-state medical marijuana program and you're stopped with medical marijuana,
So
you're not
so-
going to be covered or protected under our law.
you have a lot of people though who were senior citizens up here, and have got places in Florida also, and a lot of them have kept their original houses up here, and they come back for most of the
You
year
can
here.
have, you can have dual
you
residency.
can do
No,
that.
actually, you can't. You have to pick one or the other. And if you have a lot of them that pick Florida, Because Florida, if you were a retired vet, like if your husband was or your wife was,
Yeah.
which a lot of that era right now is, all the seniors right now, you don't have to pay property taxes or income tax. Or property taxes, I think it is.
Right,
So-
but they do have income tax, which is like.
I meant property tax I have to pay.
Yeah, it's like one of them
On
they
the house
don't
and
have,
stuff.
yeah.
So like I know a lot
But
of
the other
people-
one is like outrageous
Yeah,
because they
well-
don't have the other.
A lot of my relatives, they have, taken residency up down there, even though they only lived there 3 months out of the year, because back 10 years ago they had all that. So, yes, it's kind of. I think it's kind of shameful. We got a lot of senior citizens who live in Michigan 8, 9
Skipping
years
out
a
on
month.
us.
Yeah, well, they just can't be safe now. Like they come back to Michigan most of the year, and they can't be, unless they change their residency. If they do that, then they got to pay taxes again on their property, which their husband or wife fought so hard for our country in World War I or II. It's kind of a slap in the face. I don't know. Personal rights being restricted again. And I don't think we really had a huge influx of outer state people coming in here and like getting cards like they think. I mean, if you
No.
only had a few hundred people that came into the state and got cards from out of state, who cares? It's 300 people that probably needed medical marijuana, and they're coming here and they're probably in the state when they're using. They're in the state, probably living here most of the time.
Well, now
They're
we'll
getting
make sure that
treatments.
they're really part of the state. They just
Right.
gotta get residency.
Yeah, they have to get residency. We'll set them up with
But see, that's
the.
the better
Bring them
way.
back here one by one.
I do know one patient who lived in Ohio, came to Michigan, got a place in Michigan because he had to get cancer treatments. So he bought a place here in Michigan for the year, and actually wanted to get treated as a medical marijuana patient also. So got the card, and was in Michigan, went back to Ohio on the weekends to see his family. So when they passed this law, he had to stop doing that because he had to become Michigan. But if he became a Michigan resident, he actually lost his treatment, his backing for his cancer treatment from Ohio because he would no longer be an Ohio resident. So like that right there is where it comes into play where it really stings people again, not just the senior
Right, what do you
citizens.
do?
Yeah, there's only a few. It's not like tons. We have 9,000 members. I haven't seen tons of people like from out of state that aren't residents of Michigan at all.
No.
Some of them have moved here, but they are residents out of Michigan, paying nice Michigan taxes for all you people.
Right.
So yeah, but it looks like we have 1 minute left here, Jeremy.
That's it, man.
That's it.
That's it.
It's hot. Thanks for the fan.
It is hot. I can't even
Yeah.
It's
talk.
wonderful.
I wouldn't have made it without it. Yeah, keep yourselves cool out there. Make sure you're drinking lots of water.
You tournament
Yes,
this
stay
Friday.
Don't forget
inside.
this Friday.
6 to 10 p.m.
6 to 10. Even if you don't know how to play, come in, hang out.
Yeah.
Should be a good time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to play cards, come in and have a good time.
Yeah, we're gonna have the whole thing open. We're gonna have drinks and all that. Not alcohol drinks. Sorry, we're gonna have the snack bar. Let me rephrase that with like coffee drinks, French soda,
Yeah.
all your sodas and your Gatorades and your waters. You're gonna have all your little shops areas open, your library open. It's gonna be just like being in the club during the day, but without as much craziness going on like through the day. It's gonna be more focused on fun.
Yeah, we might have a full house of vending.
Yeah.
So have a few people in.
So it's gonna be more focused
Bit
on
more
like fun
low-key,
hangouts. So I know
yeah.
everyone likes to sit in the middle of the club during the day. You guys, this is your time to shine. All the people that love the middle of the club, those little tables and seats there, this is your time to come in, and we're gonna fill up all those middle seats with people, and we're gonna fill up all the outside seats with people that are all hanging out and chitter chattering and showing off their rigs and playing
cheering you
poker
on.
and all that cool stuff. So come on out and hang out. First Friday night ever. This Friday night.
Should be a blast.
Yes.
Excited.
Woo!
Forward to
Yeah.
it,
Woo!
man. Do
Awesome.
some board games.
Yeah.
I want to do Pictionary.
Oh
Tell you what would be fun is playing charades.
Yes, definitely charades. It should be a lot of
Why
fun.
are we in such a weird echo?
It's over.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us this week. Catch us next week here at FlintTalkRadio.com. And catch us all our updates, Genesee Compassion on Facebook. John, thanks for being here, buddy. Sweating it out with us. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Sweet.
Thank you, guys.
Later.
Thank you.
Catch wild card.